Stock Erie and the Joel Natale Show. We're live from our Kingdom Financial Group studio. Also live on Facebook, on YouTube. And we want to welcome back to our microphones here Chris Rosato. He is from the Ascend Climbing Gym across the street here. You're also 5th in state. We're 5th in state. You're 5th in state. We're all in the same neighborhood here, Chris. Good to see you.
Yeah, every afternoon when I'm warming up my lunch, I stare out the window and long to be back on the airwaves. So I'm glad to be back.
You got it. Let's find out what's happening in the world of climbing. I mean, do you guys have like a World Cup, or do you go to the Olympics or anything like that?
Yeah, actually, climbing was in the Olympics, in the most recent Olympics.
So that'd be 24.
Last year, which was exciting for us. I believe that was the first time climbing was in the Olympics. It should be back in the next one. We do that. There's also international climbing competitions and all the way down to USA climbing and then community competitions. So we actually just hosted last weekend in Pittsburgh our 10th anniversary annual community competition called the Steeltown Throwdown. And then we have our own version of that we host up here, that we had our first one last March, called the Flagship City Throwdown. So we've got that coming up in a few months as well.
That's amazing. And what does that entail? Is that for different age groups, or is that just for elite climbers? What is that?
Yeah, so each of those two competitions, there's always a youth kind of division to it, and then I guess sort of open, where kids can compete, but also anyone can compete. And then there's different difficulty or ability ranges as well. So from beginner or lower level climbers on up, there's lots of different divisions based on your experience level. Do
you ever get graded on your form? Like, kind of like, gymnastics or diving?
I always say that climbing is an any means necessary sport.
Okay. It's the opposite of form. If I could get up there.
Yep, exactly. And I always say, too, climbing competitions are great. And I've said this before here, and I love to say it, but climbing... if you can climb a ladder, we have stuff you can climb, right? So there is stuff in that gym for anyone, whether you've ever climbed before or not, of really almost any, age or ability level. We just had a big senior group from Spring Hill come down a couple of months ago, and a bunch of seniors climbed, and they had a great time and were totally able to do it. So if you are listening and you're like, I don't know if I could even get up the wall, you can probably get up the wall. There's a good chance.
Talk about is the correct term kinesiology? The kinetics of it all. Again, you understand what it does to your core and what your lower body. I mean, when you're at a typical gym and you're just doing weights, it's arms day or it's legs day. Core day. This kind of is all of it.
It's really kind of all of it. Yeah. When you first get started with climbing. And that's kind of the beauty of this versus a traditional gym. With a traditional gym, you could really kind of hurt yourself if you don't know the specific workouts or the form and that kind of stuff. With climbing, it's very intuitive. You're climbing. Most people tried to climb a tree when they were a kid, so they have a good idea of how this sort of works. And the first thing that's going to go is your arms. You're going to get tired because you're gripping really hard. And then eventually, by necessity, you'll realize you need to get your legs involved because that'll help you out and help you climb longer and better. And then everything else sort of follows through just as you keep doing it and you look to improve. But it really is an exercise and a workout that can use the whole body in a very functional way. It helps with mobility, stretching. We have yoga classes that can kind of complement that as well and really help improve your overall fitness.
Yeah, it didn't occur to me when you first opened that the yoga is part and parcel of the climbing because of the stretching out and getting your body ready for that activity.
Yeah, and we have a yoga class specifically called Yoga for Climbing that we really kind of tricked everyone because the climbers aren't sure that the yoga will help them, so we called it Yoga for Climbing, but all of the yoga classes will help the climbing. So really all of the classes are yoga for climbing, but we made one specifically to kind of entice the climbers to come in. But whether you're a yoga fan, our unlimited yoga pass is just $30 a month, which is a huge discount compared to most of the yoga centers around Erie. So if you just wanted to do that, great, go ahead. We've got plenty of classes for you, plenty of styles. But if you did end up becoming, a full member and you climb, you also have full access to all the yoga classes and all of that together, plus a fitness area with some group fitness classes as well. All of those things, we view fitness in a holistic manner.
Right.
Climbing is an alternative form of fitness, obviously. It's not what you would maybe think of when you start thinking about, getting in shape or being fit. But we think of fitness, like I said, holistically. So all around the mental aspects and the physical aspects and the strength aspects along with the mobility.
You've got a couple events coming up here. Talk about Community Day. What's that all about?
So our community days, we've held about one per quarter for the last few quarters. This one I think is the best one we've had yet. So it's this Sunday, December 21st. And any Erie County resident can come in and get a day pass for $5.
Wow.
And that's obviously a pretty good discount off for a normal day pass. That's good whether you've been there or not. So even if you've been 100 times, you could still get a day pass for $5. Whether or not you get a day pass, you could take one of our fitness or yoga classes that day for free. Sometimes we've had a specific class that was free, but this time we've made all of our classes that day free. So you could take a fitness class, a yoga class, try them all out, and then go climb for $5. And then we've also, just as a fun little bonus, we've got free hot cocoa for everyone. So
nice.
who doesn't like some hot cocoa? So stop on in and at least get some hot cocoa. Take a tour if you've never seen it. We'd be happy to show you around. And if you are a newcomer, we'll have plenty of people on hand, plenty of staff on hand to introduce you to the sport, introduce you to the facility, show you what's what and how to get started.
Again, what are the times on Sunday?
So we are open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
So any time during that 12-hour period. Wow.
Yep.
Wow. I think it's key to make sure people understand that if this is something that you are getting interested in, you guys kind of guide people through the whole equipment process too and all that. Talk about that.
Yeah. So, obviously there's some equipment that you'll need to climb. The most basic is a pair of shoes. It's kind of like bowling. You need a specific pair of shoes in order to climb. And we have them and you can rent them. If you join as a member right now, this is a great time. Your first month is $8.14, 814. We love that. But that includes any rental gear you need for the month we're in, plus the next first full month. So it's an incredible deal. You'll save a ton of rental equipment, and you'll get the opportunity to see, is this for me? Am I going to use it? Do I want to buy my own gear? But you've got, if you joined right now, you got a month and a half to find a pair of shoes that work for you or whatever. And we sell them, of course, but we can also give you advice on where to go find them. You can try some on at our place. We're happy to help you out. Our staff loves to talk about gear all the time.
What is the deal with climbing shoes? I mean, are they like wrestling shoes where they have soft soles, or what would you call it?
It's kind of the opposite. So they've got rubber. They've got rubber. The rubber sometimes can be softer, depending on.
Is it thick like a heavy running shoe or training shoe?
No, it's not that thick,
Okay.
But it's just a very specific kind of like Vibram rubber. If you've ever purchased hiking boots,
okay,
they have it really thick.
Yeah.
It's that same rubber, but just take a thinner slice of it, glue it on the shoe, and that improves your grip on the rock and the wall surface and all that.
Oh, okay, that's wild there. Again, in our many conversations, we've talked about how the wall here and the boulders and things are simulations to some of your climbers that are members that do the outdoor climbs, right? I mean, that's going on all over Western PA, basically.
Yeah, climbing gyms originally started as basically winter training for getting back outdoors when weather permitted. And that tradition, of course, is still alive. We do classes where we'll teach people how to kind of get outdoors. And we also do guided experiences outdoors as well over the summer and into the fall, where we'll take people around here. The most popular one is McConnell's Mill. And so we'll take people with one of our licensed instructors and give them an experience of climbing outside.
Like, do they leave hooks and, tie-on places, always on the wall there at McConnell's?
Yeah, so McConnell's Mill is one of 3 Pennsylvania state parks that actually has designated climbing areas.
Okay.
So climbing is actually fully permitted, approved. They have information up there, and there are some bolts on there is kind of how we refer to them. But other areas, you might build natural anchors off of large trees or rocks or things like that.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we teach is how to build those anchors and how to outdoor climb safely.
You are also, talking about we mentioned some of the winter promotions and things. Again, people going in first of the year, New Year's resolutions. Talk about making climbing that choice.
Yeah, I did kind of want to talk about that. This is the time of year people are really starting to think about making that change, right? We're going to get through the holidays. Maybe we're going to wait till after Christmas. We're going to do it on the 1st, or we're going to start now, whatever it is. But we're interested maybe in getting into shape. And I think I was on, last winter for a similar conversation, and we talked about why climbing is a great idea for that. But I also want to talk about, some of the pitfalls that come with joining those gyms, and really any gym, right? Is really be careful about looking at the options available to you. A lot of gyms will do like introductory pricing that they don't tell you is going to escalate really quickly, or they'll lock you into long-term contracts or have cancellation fees, or just make it really hard to cancel. And, at Ascend, we obviously, you heard me earlier, we have an $8.14 sign-on deal to start your membership, and then your membership goes up to full price the next month, right? We're fully transparent about that. The only thing that you get locked into at our gym is that first full month. Pay that first full month, and then you can cancel. You could go on hold if you're going out of town for a few months, and not have to pay us a renewal fee or a reset up fee or anything like that. So it's a really great deal. It doesn't lock you in for a long term. It's super easy to cancel. We have a portal you can access on your phone or computer. You don't have to send a certified letter or call a service agent or anything like that. So it really, it can seem intimidating a lot of times signing up for a gym because you hear the horror stories about certain places and, I didn't know I wouldn't be able to cancel without paying, however much money. But really just ask those questions. And we're happy to answer those questions because we're really transparent about our process. It's right there on the website. But if you don't want to read it, feel free to come talk to us. We always do free tours and that. But like I said, $8.14 to sign up. It gets you all the rental gear for about a month and a half, or depending on when you sign up. And we do have a commit and save deal that we just launched to try to get a little bit closer to what some other gyms offer, which is basically it's $8.14. And then your first 3 full months are just $59. So it's kind of a lower rate to keep you going. And then you're locked in just for those 3 months. And once you're out of that, then it's back to normal where you can make any adjustments you want.
Okay. The beyond the climbing wall and the yoga classes and things, what other traditional gym types of things are at Ascend Climbing Gym?
Yeah, so we have a fitness area. Okay. That fitness area is stocked full of traditional free weights. Okay. So tons of dumbbells, tons of kettlebells, barbells, and cardio equipment as well. There's a cable machine there. So it has everything in the fitness area that...
What's a cable machine?
A cable machine, kind of like a pulley system with
kind of. Oh, okay, but upright.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
And so most traditional gyms, the large big box traditional gyms, they are full of cable machines, but they're targeted for a specific movement, right? So if I'm going to do a pull down, it's a machine that just does pull downs, right? And there's 4 of them there, and then all those other things. So we don't have any of those specific targeted machines. We don't have that big of a fitness area, but we have all of the weights and all of the equipment you need to do many of those exercises. And if you're somebody who's just starting out, I'm not really sure I know what I'm doing. Like I said, you could hurt yourself in a fitness context if you don't know what you're doing right away. We do offer those group fitness classes, plenty of opportunities to work with somebody, get some exercise ideas, and we can connect you with resources as well.
Are more and more folks going with a personal trainer approach or consultant, especially when it comes to, you have some specialty. It's a specialized place there.
We do offer personal training for all the aspects, whether you want some one-on-one yoga training, one-on-one fitness training, one-on-one climbing training. We do all of that. And we have seen some more people in the last year take us up on that opportunity. And
they just want to know their form, right?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of times, you, in almost anything you do, right, you can go and do it and try it and read online and try to get the best you can, but eventually you might hit a ceiling, and it's nice to have somebody to talk to about that.
Yeah. Chris Rosato with us here. Now, when you came by, I think the first time, you said you had a fear of heights.
Uh-huh.
And what are we talking about? We're at 45 feet, 54 feet?
52 feet.
52 feet.
Yeah.
So 52, 54, whatever it takes. Have you knocked that kind of out after so many times of being at the top of that wall?
Well, I wouldn't say I've knocked the fear of heights out.
Okay.
I always tell people, and it's good to talk about, but I always tell people the fear never goes away. It just gets a little easier to get on the wall. That's kind of the best you can hope for. I trust the more you do it, the more you build the trust in the equipment, in the system, in the person you're climbing with. Because when you're climbing that high, you usually have a partner who's belaying you. And,
What use that word again?
Belaying.
What does that mean?
Belaying is just the act of manually taking in the slack as you climb, letting it out. We use a belay device. So it's a device attached to the person belaying that helps them. It's called an assisted braking device. So if you were to fall, it kind of helps catch. And the more you do it, the more trust you build in all of that. And, when I'm up there, I'm still a little bit quaking in my boots, but I'm up there. And that's kind of that's what's nice about climbing. It's not just the physical aspect. There's a mental aspect of problem solving and sometimes overcoming the fear, which can be even more powerful of an accomplishment than just, conquering the challenge itself.
Is the hardest wall kind of come out like where you're beyond, well, I guess whether it be the 90 degree or whatever? Is that how that works?
So there's difficulties on all the walls, right? So each section of wall could have an easier and a harder, but generally speaking, for most people, the hardest thing to do would be what you're describing is what we would call an overhang.
Overhang, sure.
Where, you're basically, if you can imagine, I'll try to describe it in an audio fashion. If you can imagine where you are on your back in the air. So you're holding, and if there was ground below you, you'd just be laying flat on your back. But you're not. You're up in the air holding on. So your arms are holding most of your weight. Your feet can help a little, but in that angle, it's mostly your arms, and that's what's hard for a lot of people. So even the easier climbs that are set on an overhang tend to be harder than, some harder climbs on less of an overhang.
What was that one? I think we talked about last time, that documentary that was on the guy that free solo. Yeah. Was that on El Capitan? Or?
Yeah. Yep. That was Alex Honnold. That brought a lot of eyeballs to the sport, for sure.
I believe it. Yeah. Did you get a surge when that came out too?
I believe it came out a little bit before we specifically were open. I'm sure our Pittsburgh gyms, which were open at the time, would have definitely benefited from that. But we still get people, these days who come in for the first time and are, asking about free solo. And just so that everyone knows, you will not be climbing 50 feet in the air untethered. You'll always be on a rope if you're going that high. We do have some smaller walls where you don't need ropes, but you have nice thick padding underneath, and it's not the same situation.
Well, again, that is you think about, it's a mind, body, spirit kind of. Everything is in on that climb, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, there's no room for error, right?
All right. Again, Community Day.
Community Day this Sunday, December 21st. You can come in 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. $5 day passes, but all of our yoga and fitness classes are free, and at the very least, come in and get some hot cocoa.
How young can you take a kid? I mean, if I want to bring my family.
Yeah, we recommend not younger than 3 to climb. You can bring the little ones in to watch, but not younger than 3, because younger than that, they're not really doing a whole lot.
Right.
Our classes start at 6 years old. To give you an idea, 6 and up is fantastic for climbing. They will eat it up. Wow. Under 6, they'll have fun, and you can bring them, and they'll do great. But under 3, they won't really know what's going on.
Might be if you've got the grandkids coming over, take a couple hours for $5. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for $5 you can bring the whole extended family in. Yeah. Not everyone has to climb. Just come on in, see the place, and whoever wants to climb can.
Beautiful. Chris Rosato, Ascend Climbing Gym. And we wish you Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and always going up, Chris. We're always going up.
Yes, we are. And while you're there, take a look at the art that's on our window facing State Street. That was actually painted by our staff. So,
terrific!
While you visit us this weekend, take a look at the art and tell the staff they did a great job.
Yeah, everybody's commenting on how pretty the building looks for Christmas. So it's really cool. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Thank you.